they have a formula that every top guy needs to be able to go out and do the 15-20 minute intro promo thing, and it's just so formulaic, and that's why people are barely over, and because they're trying to fit everyone into the same box.
See, that's the major divide between the product now and what the product was. I want to say through the Attitude Era. Right. It's too much guys basically spoon feeding the story to the audience. Everybody needs to go out there and tell the audience what's happening rather than letting the matches and the interactions, speak for themselves and tell the story.
Okay.
I don't think a guy needs to go out there and be like, oh, come this pay-per-view, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this, that, the other thing to you. Just go out there and do it. I don't need to be told you're going to do it. I don't need you to tell me, your life story and like you said, a 20-25-minute promo.
What is the proper way to build a feud or whatever for over the course of 4 to 5 weeks?
The problem is there's no formula, and they've tried to make it so formulaic, especially in the last 5 years.
That's the thing. I completely agree with that.
There's no formula to this, man. There's tropes in wrestling that we know. Certain things work. Certain things, probably don't work. But there's always an exception to the rule. There's always, variations and all this stuff. And that's why it used to be such a creative thing, because you use your creativity to, even if you were doing the same storyline you've done before, you use your creativity to present it in a whole different way.
Let's look at this for a second, okay? So you've got guys like Daniel Bryan who can't honestly cut a promo to save his life. Let's be honest.
No.
Became the most over guy in the business.
Yeah.
Right? Just based on his work ethic and his work in the ring. Then you got a guy like a CM Punk, for example, who goes out there and
gives sermons.
Exactly. And can work in the ring, and he gets over. You've got guys that can go out there and talk and can go out there and work, and they don't get over.
I'm trying to see where the Miz falls in this category.
I don't want to count the Miz as not being over.
Miz is over.
Yeah, he's over.
I think the Miz is very well placed right now. I like him as the mid-card guy. I don't think everybody needs to be main event level. Uh-huh. I think if you're on the show, you're doing something right, for one. And then two, not everybody needs to be in the main event. Like I said, you have to fill a card from start to finish. Yeah. You need to have guys that are going to be, curtain jerkers, and you need to have guys that are going to be, main eventing, and you need everybody in between. It's not a one-person job.
So where does Roman Reigns fall into all this? Finally cut a decent promo after 5 years.
Did he?
According to Cena.
Look, man, my thing with Roman Reigns is this. I think WWE is stuck in this kind of... They're stuck in the old days, old glory days, where, we had one guy. This is our guy, the guy. You don't need to... Jim Ross actually talked about this. I asked him this one time at one of his shows. He says, you don't need to build a company around just one guy anymore. You don't need to. Why? No one. People are too different. You have a company that's trying to reach a global audience. First of all, different demographics, different everything, different age groups, age ranges. You think everyone, the majority of fans, is gonna rally around just one guy? I don't care who it is.
So, do you think they kind of see that though when they're, like we were discussing the Jinder Mahal thing? And they're booking this India thing, and they're trying to build an audience in India based off of Jinder.
But the problem is, it's not like Indian fans were saying, "Hey, we want Jinder." You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's these fans. They're not clamoring for anybody. It's the company choosing who they want in certain positions and trying to shoehorn them in there as best as they can. And through commentary, through the shilling, you're eventually gonna get that Stockholm syndrome, just like with Cena, and you're going to be convinced that these guys are amazing and that they're great just because they've consistently been put in those positions. Not necessarily they haven't proven themselves in those positions. They've just been constantly booked to be there. And that's where Roman's at right now, where he's been just there so many times that now they're starting to call him the guy now. Just because he's been there. He still hasn't had that breakout match.
No.
He still hasn't had that breakout, feud storyline. He still hasn't really done anything outside of, the Shield to really say, okay, this guy has legs on his own. It's just been a lot of throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, and hey, if we just keep him at the top and we just keep telling you he's the best, eventually you're just going to get sick of arguing. It's the same thing that happened with Cena.
I don't know. I think Cena proved himself a lot
Later. It was 10 years, dude. It was 10 years of him being down our throats before he finally. Honestly, you on some real shit. John Cena really didn't start proving himself until 2014, or whenever it was he won the United States title and had that run. Before then, it was just, hey, Cena's the guy. He's at the top.
But there were a lot of other guys who could have had that position. I'm trying to.
But they never got the chance. No one ever got the chance to really contend with Cena. Like, everyone was just kept at bay, even down to the merchandise level. For every 2 CM Punk shirts, there'd be 5 Cena shirts on the table. That's just how it was orchestrated. It was engineered a specific way.